I'm Greg Case. I am the Chief Innovation Officer for Taco Incorporated, and been in this role for about 8 months. I started as an applications engineer, spent a few years doing that, and then moved into an engineering role, design role, where we were developing the new equipment. And I went around a couple companies in about a 7-year period, and then started my own consulting business, and did design consulting for many of the world's pump companies. Worked in a variety of industries, which was fantastic. Yeah, I always wanted to be an engineer. My stepfather was an engineer, and I remember, this dates me, but my dad was, his TV set wasn't working, and he was an electrical engineer, and this is back in the days of tube TVs, and he had an oscilloscope on top of the TV, and he was checking various tubes to see if they were working to fix the TV, and I wanted to know what that thing was telling him. How did he know that was, when he got that squiggly line, that meant this, and that's what had to be replaced. And from that point on, I wanted to be an engineer. You need to be a self-starter. You need to be organized. You need to, and that's something that often isn't taught in school. Some people are just organized and others aren't, but you have to get a checklist of things done, and that checklist may be pretty diverse, and you have to just make sure you're keeping up with long-term versus short-term emergency things. So I would say success in this industry, a lot of it's tenacity in getting things done. I have so many projects that I worked on that I could say I'm really very proud of. There are definitely some design work that I did over the years. I was rather flattered. An old client of mine walked up, and I hadn't seen him for 10 years, and he said, "Hey, that design you did for us is still the most efficient product that we have in our arsenal." And he had gotten his PhD, and he's in charge of the design team, and this is on cryogenic liquefied natural gas pumps, and it was a very complex design, and I was very proud of the work I did on that. But it was pretty gratifying that after 10 years, that's still their banner. We use 40% of all the energy created, I think is the number. So you want to make a difference in the world, we use all of that energy. You can make a difference by helping us use less of it. You can help us, and when I look at my engineering design team, which I ran engineering for us globally for 10 years, and last year, my software team actually became larger than any other engineering team I have in the company, because these are not just dumb little devices anymore. They're run by computers. The motors will not spin without the computer in the back of them anymore. So if you're looking for an industry that has an impact on the world, this is it. Solar pumping in Africa so that people don't have to walk miles to a well. I mean, there's so many possibilities for I can make a difference in the world in this industry. It's absolutely amazing. And it is not just some dumb old industry anymore. Like I said, software, hardware development, constantly integrating with Nest and all of the different home automation devices or computer platforms at facilities, their control systems. Huge opportunities in this industry, and all of them can make a huge difference in the energy profile in the world. So I went to a very unique school for college. I went to the California Maritime Academy, and so it was training to be a merchant marine engineer. And ships are small cities. They have to create their own power. They have to produce water. They have to discharge wastewater. They have all of the things that you would need for a city built into that platform. And so I got to learn a lot about pumps as a student. Very early in my career, I was on a plane and I got upgraded to first class for the flight, short flight, and I was sitting there reading, I believe, waiting for the plane to take off, and a woman came in and sat down next to me, and she was dressed to the nines. I mean, just a fashion piece, and we were delayed for takeoff, and she said, "So, what do you do?" And not really caring, I don't think, but she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I design pumps." And she said, "Really?" She said, "How did you get that job?" And I said, "Well, I have a couple engineering degrees, and you know, she said, I wouldn't think you'd need an engineering degree." I said, "Well, yeah, you do." And the conversation went on for a few minutes, and she said, "Do you get samples?" And I said, "Yeah, I can get samples." And we talked a little bit more, and finally I said, "Not the shoes." So in college, I definitely had some internships, shipboard internships where I went and worked on oil tankers and things. But my apprenticeship, if you will, was my senior design project, and that was working in the pump industry on a finite element model. So looking at the stresses in a pump, and at that time, finite element analysis was brand new to the world. Not too many companies had it, and I was fortunate that the university I was at had it, and I could use it to solve this problem for industry. Definitely look at this industry. It's not a huge industry, but it's constantly growing, active industry. Lots of really smart people here doing things that matter, and I think your academics are behind you. Come out into any industry and be open to learn.